Hey, welcome back. We make thousands of decisions day in and day out. And for most people who are making the same type of decisions and the same type of environment, these decisions are ultimately being handled from our fast brain. They're automatic, based on years of learned patterns, and may also ultimately conflict with our goals. So what do we do if we have habits that we believe are problematic? Ones that ultimately have a negative impact and are keeping us or our clients stuck. Let's take a look at how we can use the 4 elements of the habit loop to unlearn a negative habit. Now, beginning with the cue, in an ideal environment, you just remove that cue. But cues are complex, and they include time of day, they include people, mood, environment, and other behaviors. You can't always eliminate those, but you may be able to avoid them or alter them so that they remain within your control. Say, for example, your client complains that he is always overeating in the evening. And one of the reasons he overeats is because when he gets home from work, he eats a snack while he's making dinner. Now, if the cue is when I get home, then I grab a snack from the fridge, he may choose to come in through an entirely different door that doesn't land him into the kitchen. Or maybe he could decide to head to the bedroom and change clothes instead while he decides what he wants to make for dinner, or what a healthier snack might be that doesn't necessarily compete with his dinner. When it comes to craving, this is the part that usually makes people give in to the old habits over and over again. They feel this craving coming on, right? And maybe it's a decision to raid the pantry or fridge, and that craving grows and grows and grows. It's as if that once your client recognizes he wants to eat something, his brain will increase the urgency and the intensity of that craving until absolutely it's so strong. So to change the craving, and this is really something that works with repeated use and practice over time, you can teach your clients to use a strategy that's called urge surfing. If you think of your cravings or urges like an ocean wave, they will come on and they rapidly increase in size and impact. Now, when we think about an ocean wave, what happens when that ocean wave has reached its peak? It's going to break, right? And then it's going to begin to come back down. And the same is true for your client's cravings. On average, for most of us, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes before those cravings will go away. Now, depending on the habit, this could differ, and sometimes it could be a little bit longer or maybe a little bit less. But the key is to remember that left on its own, the craving will eventually go away. The first time your client tries to resist that urge and surf the wave, it's going to feel pretty intense because the brain is used to giving in and making that choice. The brain always says, oh man, I'm hungry, I'm going to open up the fridge. But eventually, with repeated practice and saying no, it gets easier. Do you recall that with COVID-19, there was so much talk about flattening the curve? Essentially, that is what we're talking about with urge surfing, and that's what urge surfing does. It keeps lowering the intensity of the urge until eventually it is so flat that really it doesn't really affect us. We can almost ignore it altogether. So strategies for riding out the urge include waiting that 15 to 20 minutes before deciding if you want to give in. But you can also take advantage of distraction, finding something else to do to ride out that 15 to 20 minutes, maybe going for a walk. Or clients can also substitute a healthy option in its place. Maybe instead of raiding the fridge and pantry for the high calorie and salty snacks, your client could opt for a piece of fruit instead. We'll talk more on snacking in the next video. Then, to target the response, your client could increase the distance between himself and the high-calorie snacks that he tends to eat before and while making dinner. Maybe he only keeps healthy options in the house, so even when he does raid the pantry, it doesn't do much damage. Or maybe he decides that he wants to move the tempting snacks to a far-removed cabinet instead, where they'll be out of sight, out of mind. And then lastly, to target the reward aspect, your client could find someone to help hold him accountable. Maybe that's you, and every night he just sends you a text to let you know that he's successfully navigated that habit loop. Or maybe it's his spouse or his partner or his kids. Sharing these give-up goals makes it that much more likely those old habits will be given up. We'll see you next time.